Hello students, this is Dr. Gaurangi Bhatt here. Today I am going to tell you about the poem Keeping Quiet. The poet of this poem is Pablo Neruda. In this poem, the poet wants to tell about keeping quiet. So in first 10 lines, the poet wants to keep still till he counts up to 12. 12 being the numbers of hours shown in a clock here. For once, let us talk in any language on this earth, because according to the poet, languages create barriers between people. He asks us to stop moving our arms so much for 1 second. Let there be no rush or hurry for a second. Engines and the machine must stop for a moment. That moment will be fascinating moment for all of us. Then all of us shall enjoy the sudden strangeness of the moment together. So in first 10 lines, poet requests everyone to be quiet. In next 4 lines, he tells about the fisherman. He should not harm the whales in the cold sea of polar region. He says even the man gathering salt with his own hands must take care of his hurt hands. So his request is to the fisherman too. In next 6 lines, the poet tells that war should be stopped. So he says all kind of wars must be stopped at once. The green wars against the environment, because these wars create poisonous gases, and the wars with firearms must be stopped now. He says in such wars victory is meaningless, as there are no survivors left after the war. Instead of fighting and waging wars, people should come out in their best dresses. They must go out for a walk with their brothers. They must move about under the shady tree and enjoy doing nothing. So again he requests that war should be stopped, because the result of war is nothing, only defeat and the agony. So in next lines, he tells about that we should not confuse stillness with total inactivity. Here he is not saying to stop doing work. He just wants everyone to give pause to the activities. Doing nothing at all would amount to death, because if we don't do anything, then it's similar to death only. But he is saying to give a little rest to the moving life. We think that life is to move about, so he says we should not be always on the move. For a while we should always take rest. A long silence can do us a lot of good. So sometimes he says silence is also fruitful. That time man can introspect. He can think about his deeds. So men become sad when they fail to understand themselves. And that's why they feel helpless when they threaten themselves with death. So what happens? So he says a long silence can soothe our feelings and help us in removing this sadness. So sometimes the silence is also essential to improve, to introspect our life. So in last 5 lines, the poet tells that he gives an example to illustrate the idea that stillness does not mean total inactivity. He says the earth can teach us a lesson. When things seems dead, the earth remains alive. The earth keeps on rotating. The poet asks us to keep quiet till he counts 12. Then he will go. So this whole poem tells about the quietness, the silence, the peace. Thank you.